Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for checking out the channel. I'm Brother Minister Cepeda. I always begin by encouraging you guys, just in case there's some new people who have clicked on to one of my videos for the very first time. But not only that, just to remind you guys, perhaps you guys have already clicked on and checked out my website. But it's all about me glorifying my Heavenly Father and to give Him His acknowledgments, His just due. So I start my videos off by saying, welcome to the channel. Please be encouraged to visit my website at treeoflifeoutreach.com. Familiarize yourself with me, my background, to give you a better understanding of how I have arrived at some of the conclusions that I have, and just me, period. Just so you know, just so you get a better idea of me and my background. It's certainly not for everybody. Just as a upfront disclosure on that. And if it's not for you, that's fine. I understand that it's not for everyone. But if it's for you, then it's a very inspirational story. Share it with your friends. Honor him. Perhaps there's been some difficult moments in your life, in you guys' lives, where you realize that it had to be a powerful force that was greater than yourself that got you through that. So that's what it's all about. Again, that's treeoflifeoutreach.com. Familiarize yourself with me, as well as the services that I offer that are consulting, philosophical consultations, youth mentoring, ISSA certified fitness training, and inspirational and motivational speaking. Excuse me for that, guys. But that's what it's all about with me, and I want to give him his glory. So you guys check it out, pass on the word, pass on the information about the services if you know anyone that may be interested. So what I'm going to do in this video, guys, is I'm going to go over just very briefly what it means to me, my personal definition as a philosophical counselor. What does that mean, to be a philosophical counselor or a philosophical consultant? Now, obviously, it's philosophy, so my interpretation is just as right as the next guy's, and the next guy's interpretation, although it may be entirely different, is just as right as mine. So there's no right and there's no wrong in philosophy. Okay, when you're philosophizing about something, that's what we're doing. We sit around and you come up with a theory and a philosophy and a hypothesis is just as accurate as the next guy. With just a little bit of caveat, I would say that even with philosophy, in my humble point of view, it has to be based on something. It can't be just, well, it's philosophy, so I'm gonna philosophize that if I cut a tree in half, it won't be two parts to it. If I take one solid stick and break it in half, right down the middle, just break it in two pieces, it won't be two pieces. So would be kind of ridiculous, even though it's philosophy, so that's my take on it. It has to be based on something, at least somewhat in the realm of possibilities, and then you just create your own thoughts, your own theses, hypotheses, and etc. with regards to what your thoughts are and what your outcome is with regards to that particular situation or circumstances. So having said that, we keep in mind that at the end of the day, it is philosophy. So right or wrong, either in agreement or disagreement, the next guy's definition and perspective is just as accurate as mine, and vice versa, because it is philosophy. Now, there is two kinds of philosophies that I'm aware of. And the first, as you know, is the more traditional and the more mainstream, which I'd venture to say 95, 98% of philosophy or philosophers, their philosophy is based on academia. It's scholarly. You know, they've read and researched all these different philosophers, and they sit in the classroom and they discuss philosophy and possible outcomes, and maybe they have dinner and talk about it and go to the lab and do a couple things in the lab to create that general construct from which a philosophy can be built. So that's the philosophy that I would refer to as being mainstream. It's founded on schools. It's founded on academia, and it's very scholarly. I mean, some people got a PhD in philosophy. So it is something that you can actually go to school and graduate and get a degree for. And then there's the other philosophy, the other kind of philosophy which is the kind of philosophy that I offer, which is experiential philosophies. So it's experiential. That tells you what it's all about right there. It's experiential. So it's not that we sat around and we read this guy and began to kind of get an understanding of how he thought and how he viewed the world, and then from that came up with our own philosophy. That's not how one who is putting forth, or I can speak for myself, that's not what my experiential philosophy is based on. Not at all. It's like, again, it's not based on academia. So it's not, as previously stated, it's not that like the guys whose philosophy is based on. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not saying that at all. Their philosophy is their philosophy. It works for them. They believe in it. They've committed to themselves, and that's all that matters. I'm just simply giving you guys an example of what my philosophy is and what it is not. So again, it's not going to school and researching a bunch of different ancient philosophers and modern philosophers and sitting around talking about it and coming up with, okay, I see how he reached this decision, and then drawing your own philosophies or your own ideas and construct of philosophy based on that. No, I offer experiential philosophy, which the template, the construct of it is based on just that experience. So I have trodden a certain path. If you go to the treeoflifeoutreach.com website, it'll be in depth with regards to the path, or it'll be more detailed at least with regards to the path that I've trodden, and based on all of the various experiences over that time period up until now, and even prior to the experiences that are posted on the website. That's how I arrive at my philosophies about life and the way things work. It's based on my own experience, what I've encountered, what I've seen, what I've gone through, what I've actually witnessed with my own eyes, others having gone through, how it affected them, and different things of that nature. So that's the experiential philosophy. That's the philosophies that I provide. Okay, excuse me. And you say, okay, well, now I got an understanding so far about the two different types of philosophies. What exactly is a philosopher? Or what is philosophy? So oftentimes we know, well, it's people who just maybe have thoughts about something, but it can't be proven, or it can't be proven at least in scientific laboratories, so they philosophize about it. Sometimes people say a philosopher is somewhat like a poet. They just imagine things and come up with colorful, bright ideas, either about this or about that. And to some, that's their definition, and that's their perception and perspective of what a philosopher is. if you just break the word down to its most minute molecule, it actually means it's two words. It's philo and Sophie or Sophia. Philo meaning love, and Sophie or Sophia or Sophia meaning wisdom. So that's what the word means in its basic essence. If you were to search the word back to its origins, then that you would come up with the definition of it, and as well as the fact that it's actually two words combined in that one word. So that's what it actually means, and that's always been me at my core from the very beginning. As long as I can remember, I was always interested in wisdom. Philo meaning love, Sophia or Sophia meaning wisdom. The love of wisdom, or one who loves wisdom. So that's always been me from as long as I can remember. I'm outside, 5, 7, 9 years of age, playing with butterflies and just trying to find out, well, why does this one, when he fly, they typically fly this way, and those that's of this color, they typically fly straight, and these zero around, make winding moves when in their flying patterns. Just all kinds of things that I would sit back and try and do whatever research I could, or ask whatever adult was present. I've always had this knack for wisdom. A lot of people will equate wisdom with information, and although they are closely related, wisdom and knowledge and understanding, all those things are closely related. But the philosopher, again, from my point of view, he has what I would say maybe abstract views and experience, not the mainstream, not the inside of the box type of experiences. His experiences are not mainstream, and so his philosophers, again, speaking from myself, and I know of two more philosophical counselors whose philosophies and the services that they provide are based on experiential. Everyone else, again, 98, 99% of the philosophers that are out there offer scholarly based philosophies. It's Harvard, Yale, you name it, whatever. They've gone to school and they've got those degrees. So there's a small percentage of guys who are doing experiential philosophies, who are experiential philosophers, and the one that I've talked to, and the one that I know, and the couple that I've talked to, it's all based on them not only being experiential philosophers, but their experiences are, again, outside of the mainstream. It's outside of the box. They've experienced what we would call outside, again, there's that word again, outside of the box, childhoods, outside of the box techniques and ways of learning. I spoke with one young lady. She had never gone to school a day in her life, but boy, when you talk to her, you could easily tell that she could hold her own about any topic, to any degree, about anything, with anybody. So just that kind of that to give you an example, like she never went to school, so her learning, the way she learned and the way she was educated, was way outside the box. And this is how those who are, at least up to my experience and knowledge, those who are providing experiential based philosophies, this is what it's based on, something outside of the mainstream. So as I see it, the reason why you would choose to go to a philosopher or consult with the philosopher, particularly one who offers services in that field. Not all philosophers are consulting philosophers. They're just philosophers, and they go to the different schools and different places like that and give lectures and things of that nature. But there are, those who are actually offering services such as I do, workshops, group, one-on-one consultations, family consultations, you name it. The benefit of going to that, and I get this from every single client who comes to me, is that they're looking for a view and a perspective that they can't get anywhere else. So they're in the midst of making a very important decision, or something very, very monumental has taken place or is about to take place in their lives. They're at a crossroads, this kind of stuff. They just met this person and they feel like they're in love, but they're not sure, and maybe he or she's got some baggage or whatever, and they can go to mom and dad and grandma, grandpa. They can go to teachers, and they can go to all these different people, and these people offer them different perspectives, but more or less it's still that mainstream inside the box perspectives. So they come to people such as myself, and they make an investment and say, hey, look, I don't know if I'm going to agree with what you said. I know your experiences are different, but this is a very important topic, a very important season or particular situation that I need to be able to include all information before I make a decision. So I've talked to my mom, and she said that, my auntie, uncles, and school friends and co-workers, and I talked to all the people that are extremely knowledgeable people. But at the end of the day, this situation, this set of circumstances is so monumental, so pivotal in their lives, that they need to get outside of the box perspective. And you would be surprised how oftentimes they are just elated and stunned that the information that I gave them was actually the information that they utilized, and it actually worked for them. If it didn't, it offered them a perspective that had they not came and visited me, had they not came and had a session with me, had a consultation or two with me, they would have never even had that perspective to which they ultimately was able to find the answer. In other words, it's like somebody saying, if you're at the house and you can't find your keys, and you've been searching all over the living room because you came in and you didn't go anywhere, you just stayed in the living room. So you're tearing the living room up, you're going everywhere, trying in the living room, looking under things, pulling things, opening things and this and that, trying to find your keys. And then you ask your spouse, hey, have you seen my keys? And your spouse says no. But did you check out by the mailbox? Did you check outside? I know that you came in and I saw you walk you took the trash out to the dumpster or to the curb. Did you check outside? So even though she didn't know where those keys were at, she provided him with a perspective that he was able, that had he not spoken to her, he would never had even considered that. And so he went outside, and no, there wasn't by the dumpster, but he happened to look over and he saw the kids had picked him up and were playing with him next door. But had she not provided him with that perspective, he would have never even considered that as even been a remote possibility. So oftentimes people are either stunned or just flabbergasted because they came to someone such as myself or others who provide experiential consultations, and they got enormous benefits out of it. Sometimes either the direct answer that they were looking for, the direct information, guidance, and at bare minimum, they got a perspective in which they oftentimes were able to find the answer themselves. So not to say one is better than the other. Obviously, I believe in mine. It's what works. It's what works for me. It's what works for my clients. And it's something that I would invite you guys to investigate, be it with me or with someone else. If you know someone else is offering experiential-based consultations, experiential-based philosophies and consultations and counseling and things of that nature, and you're in a pivotal moment or a pivotal spot of your life, give them a call. Obviously, do your research on that person and make sure this person is legit, and you can now be armed, so to speak, with this information that if they're offering you experiential based philosophies, then typically, not all the time, but a good indication that they are that they're on the point, they're on the money, is that their services and how they came to be a consulting philosopher is outside the mainstream. They just didn't do the normal mainstream stuff, go to school, worked, retired, and then ended up in becoming a consulting philosopher. That's probably not the way it's going to happen. These people have always been outside the box, unique, weird, whatever you want to call them. What you call weird, someone else call anomalous. What you call strange, the next person calls unique. So whatever word you're comfortable using to describe that they're different, their experiences were different, then that word is applicable. Obviously, you don't want to call anybody weird or strange to their face. I'm pretty sure they're going to take offense to it. But you get the point. Anything that denotes outside of the box, rare, things of that nature. So that's what I got for you guys today, man. And I want to encourage you guys, definitely, if there's something going on in your life, it's been repetitive, you can't seem to find the answers, you've talked to all the knowledgeable and wise people that care about you, you've talked to them all, and you can't seem to get that answer or to complete the task, whatever it may be, consider making an investment and having a session or two. I actually have repetitive clients who now just kind of consult with me just here and there about things that are not so monumental, because when they were in a turbulent situation or a trying time, or a time when it was a time that should they take this career or that career, because both of them's going to pay a wealth and a ton of money, but which one should they go if they're looking for fulfillment or a path that can give them an indication on which way to go. Consider investing in yourself. I guarantee you, if the philosopher is legit and he's offering you experiential-based philosophy, you won't be disappointed again. Even if you don't get the answer, you'll be glad you went, because he'll provide a perspective for which the answer can be found and open your eyes to a whole nother way of seeing things that you may never have seen. So that's what I have for you guys today. Again, visit the website, invest a moment or two in courtesy me by reading through the website, read the bio, go all the way down to the bottom if you would please, click on the link that takes you to the fitness arm of the ministry. There's information there with regards to health and fitness and wellness, my training services and things of that nature. Spread the word, and always remember, if you're feeling bad, if you're down and out and you're feeling bad, go make somebody else feel good and you'll feel better. That's what I have for you guys, okay? Everything that I do is based on love. That's just the way that it is. It's love through our Heavenly Father that brought me through. And so that's why I'm always referencing the website, not so much to market services or anything. It's about reading, getting as many people as I can to read that story, and to whether it vibes with them from a personal standpoint, or whether it's a turnoff to them. Read the story and know, based on reading that story, I'm sure you'll know that this thing that's most commonly referred to as God, it's real. Doesn't matter what you refer to it as or what I refer to it as, whatever you call it, it's real. So again, if you're feeling down, you're feeling out, you're feeling bad, go make somebody else feel good. You'll feel better. I don't know all of you guys, but I do love all of you guys, and that's as real as real can get. Thanks, guys. Peace, and holla back.
Hit the like and subscribe.